Hi Alfa owners, this problem is to do with the seats on a Brera and probably a 159 as well. My particular problem was that my seat electrics apparently completely died, so the switches on the side wouldn't do anything at any time. But prior to this I'd had some problems where when I tilted the seat forward and back it intermittently didn't electrically go forwards and come back again. So I reckon that I've seen on the forums that some people say they have a problem whereby when they tilt the seat forward it doesn't move electrically, and I think this is probably the same problem that we found here. So what I found mine to be is that there's a little microswitch. This is it. It's mounted on a metal plate and it sits right under here. It's only held on with one screw, and it has this harness cable which I've chopped, but it looks like this. It's got a black cover over it normally, but it's this switch here. It's usually zip tied to the bottom of this motor. So you have to look underneath this motor, you'll find this connector. Anyway, this switch has failed. So the switch has got 2 positions and 3 wires. So imagine if the switch fails in one position, then it'll fail thinking it's permanently, let's say, in the normal position of the seat. So that would mean that you could use all your electrics, but when you tilt the seat, it wouldn't move backwards and forwards automatically because the switch has failed. If the switch fails in the other position, then it thinks it's failed with the seat moved forward. So in that situation, it'll run forward and stop and really never be responsive to any switch commands again. And that's how it failed for me. So what I found was that cutting the wires and tying the black and the red wires together restores all the normal actions, except for it doesn't allow you to electrically trundle backwards and forwards. And then if you connect the black to the yellow, it'll think that the seat's been tilted forward and it'll move forward. So now I'm just going to go down to the local shop and buy a replacement microswitch. This particular switch is marked up as a Burgess brand, and I think it's a V4NOS, and when I Google that, there's no such thing available. But why would you want one anyway? Because they're crap. So in Australia anyway, we got a little electronics store called jaycar, and I found a switch that's about the right dimensions, and I'm just going to buy that. It's got the long lever on it, and I'll make it fit to this and put it back in, and away we go. But if you're not feeling too handy, then at the very least you can just do this little fix here, and you'll at least be able to use your electric seats in most of the normal adjustment modes. It just won't move forward and back when you tilt the seat. So other tricks for this was when this failed for me, my seat was all the way down, and that was a real problem for access. So I had to get this cover off of the side to get to the switch, and that was a real problem. There's two Torx screws. There's one at the back and there's one at the front, and so this one's tucked right under. Normally, it's normally like that, so that's tucked right under the back there. So you just got to get it with the little Torx bit. That's it there. It's a T20, and get that off. But even when I got that off, the seat was so low that I couldn't actually physically get this out from the sill of the car. So the other trick is that there's an adjuster cable around the front here for off an electric motor. There's an electric motor at the front, and that's the cable going into it there. You can simply just pull that cable out by hand, just give it a tug, and then you can manually turn the inner cable, and that will raise and lower the seat, and you'll get the seat high enough then that you can pop this off the side and have a crack. But I didn't get anywhere trying to undo the whole seat bolts with the seat down. I really had to do that adjustment to get it up. So anyway, that is my little fix for the day, and I hope that helps some frustrated Alfa owners out there.